Welcome everybody. So the goal of this video is basically how to build a cost-effective streaming setup moving forward. So basically keeping your total monthly cost around about $25 while still covering the essentials. So let's dive right in. So I'm going to show you how to build a complete streaming setup for about $25 a month in 2026 using a mix of cheap live TV and free streaming apps. So the goal is simple. Keep your bill low, avoid contracts, and still get the channels and content you actually watch. Now this setup works great on Roku, Fire TV, and most smart TVs. And you can customize it depending on whether you care more about sports, news, or just binge watching. Now, cable keeps getting harder to justify because in 2026, the real monthly cost often ends up being $100 or more once all the fees and add-ons and taxes stack up. On top of that, you're usually locked into contracts and you pay a lot of channels you never use. Streaming gives you flexibility. So if a service isn't worth it this month, for example, you cancel it. It's just simple as that. That flexibility is the main reason people can save hundreds every year by switching to a smarter streaming setup. Now, when I say $25 setup, I'm not saying you'll get every channel on earth. The strategy is to cover the essentials. For example, what are the essentials? Well, it's live news, some live channels, and plenty of entertainment without paying for premium bundles you don't need. The easiest way to do this is to combine one low-cost TV plan with free apps that provide extra channels and a huge library of shows and movies. The key here is also to avoid subscribing to multiple services that give you the same content over and over again. Now, the heart of this setup is picking one budget live TV service in the $20 to $25 range. So, for example, options like Sling, Philo, or similar budget plans can cover a solid lineup of live channels without the high price of full cable replacements. And one of the most important rules is just hear me out. Pick one service based on what you watch most, for example, news, sports, or general entertainment, and do not stack two live TV plans because that's how your cheap setup turns into an expensive bill again. So now the savings really kick in when free apps like Pluto TV, Tubi, and the Roku channel. These are free because they are ad supported, but you get a surprising amount of value. Don't be afraid of these ads, by the way. You do get surprising amount of value, no doubt. For example, live channels, on-demand movies, and full TV series. And for many people, these free apps cover most of the daily watching. How many hours you watch in a day anyways, right? And they also reduce the need for extra subscriptions. This is how you build a setup that feels full without paying for multiple services. Now, sports is where people assume they must pay $70 to $100 a month. And that's just assumption. Why? But that's not really always true, by the way, and I'm going to tell you why. If you're not trying to watch every game live, you can get a lot through free sports channels on Pluto and other fast apps, which is ad supported, plus league and network apps that offer highlights, replays, and sometimes live events. The main idea is to avoid paying for a huge live TV bundle just for sports, especially if you're only watching certain teams or certain games. Let me give an example. For example, if you're on YouTube TV, right, you can actually go on YouTube and watch all the NFL games that happened, right? You may not be able to watch them live, okay, because you're saving money, but wait a day or 2 or 3 days. You have everything available on YouTube itself. Full matches, NFL Sundays, you name it. All games are actually eventually put up on YouTube. Now, what about for movies and binge watching? Now, these free apps are even stronger. For example, Tubi and the Roku channel rotate their catalogs constantly. So every month there's something new. You can often replace premium subscriptions by using free apps most of the time and saving paid subscriptions for when you actually have a specific show or season you want to binge. This is one of the easiest ways to keep your monthly cost low without feeling like you're missing out. Now, you don't need expensive hardware to do this, by the way. A basic Roku or Fire TV stick is still one of the cheapest ways to get all your streaming apps in one place. And most people already have a compatible smart TV anyways, because most new TVs are smart TVs. The point is this: do not let hardware be the excuse. You can build this whole setup without upgrading your TV, without buying an expensive streaming box, and without paying extra fees. All right, so the biggest reason people fail to keep streaming cheap is simple. They subscribe to too many services at the same time. Another common mistake is paying for overlapping content. For example, people have two services that basically offer the same shows and channels. Well, why do you want to duplicate? And the most expensive mistake is forgetting to cancel free trials or short-term add-ons. So if you avoid these three mistakes, by the way, just these three mistakes that I mentioned, staying at $25 becomes very realistic. All right, so here's the strategy that makes this work long term. You're probably thinking, hey, this is a short-term solution, but no. Let me give you a strategy for long term. For example, subscription rotation. So what that means is instead of paying for multiple premium services every month, you subscribe to one for a month, binge what you want, cancel it, and then switch to another service later if needed. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, but it saves you a lot of money. This keeps your monthly cost predictable and low. Rotation is what separates people who, for example, try streaming from people who actually save money with streaming. So here's what the math looks like. So if you're wondering, well, how does it come up to $20 to $25? Well, if you spend $20 to $25 on one budget live TV plan to cover live channels, then you add free apps like Pluto, Tubi, and Roku channels for $0. They're free. That means your total stays right around $25 per month, and you still have plenty to watch every single day. And if you occasionally rotate in a premium service for a month, by the way, you still definitely stay far below what cable costs over the year. And once again, cable costs is around $100 or even more per month, right? And this setup that I've just explained is only $25 per month. Try it out. So you will be surprised, by the way, where you'll be able to watch your own favorite channels, yet only have to pay just about $25 a month. All right, so the key takeaway is that in 2026, cable is optional. Well, it was optional before, but in this year, it is definitely optional. A realistic $25 streaming setup comes down to three things. Pick one budget live TV plan, like I mentioned earlier. Rely heavily on free streaming apps as number two. And third is rotate subscriptions instead of stacking them. So if you follow this system, you can save hundreds per year while getting live content, entertainment, and plenty of variety without contracts and without feeling stuck in an expensive bundle. So let me know in comments down below, how do you intend to save and come up with a $25 budget per month so you can be able to watch all your favorite live channels and other movies, sports, and whatnot if you like. So let me know in comments down below. I hope this helps. Give it a like. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I send you some value. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.